Serious questions, ladies. Why are y'all so upset about passport bros? I really want to know why you're so upset about passport bros. Is it out of jealousy that these men can go to these countries and they will be able to find the type of woman who still has the term I'm gonna use today is the old-fashioned mentality of the 50s and 60s time frame? And you're mad because you know that if you went to another country and you try to find a man, he's going to have that old-fashioned mentality as well, and you wouldn't be able to have your American cultural mentality within the relationship. And let me break that down a little bit and use my own self as an example. So before me and my wife got together, she was just my friend. And she watched me go through a couple of bad relationships where the person was either insecure and became violent, or the person was looking at me as their bank, right? What can they get from me? What can I do for them? Being a business owner is sometimes very difficult to date because people see you as a business instead of seeing you as a person. And since I had just entered the dating world in 2008 all the way up to 2020, it was very difficult. The dating world was very difficult for me because I do have an old-fashioned mentality mixed in with some of the newer thoughts. Like, my wife is my partner. My wife is the person that I look towards for the best advice, for the best guidance, to be supportive in the good times and the bad times. That we're together because we desire to be together no matter what the situation is. We're not looking to take from each other, but looking to give to each other to complete the fulfillment of our lives. That's the mentality that I had, but I seem to attract a lot of, ooh, he owns a cigar lounge, so he must have some money, and I need somebody who can help me with my children, or I need somebody who can just help lift me up. You know, his money is my money and my money is my money. And I'm not going to lie to you. I almost became a passport bro. And I remember telling my wife, Angelina, when we were just friends, that I'm done with American women. The American mentality is driving me crazy. I know that there are those out there who don't think the same way of what I've been experiencing, but why am I fishing in the pond where the majority of the ones that are in the pond has that mentality, when I could fish in a pond where the majority don't have that mentality? And I was basing this on my experience of living in Europe for 3.5 years. And while I lived there, I spent a lot of time in West Africa, North Africa, in the Middle East, in Turkey. I went all around Europe. And the majority of the people that I hung out with were not military like I was. They were civilians. So when I watched their relationships and I watched how their culture was, I saw more of a teamwork, more of, building together. And I'm together with you because we desire to be together to have a more fulfilled life. And so I cherished that. I wanted that. So that's what I was looking for. And since I wasn't going to leave America while my kids were small and when they was in their young adulthood, I was looking for it in America and couldn't find it. Just couldn't find it. There was always some level of a deal break in there. And my plan, and I used to tell Angelina, my plan, I told her, I'm just going to play around until my son gets out of the Air Force in about 3-4 years, and then when he's out, then I'm going to just move to a selected country. Most likely it was going to be in one of the African countries, because I wanted I wanted a wife of color. And then that was it. I was going to live in that country. Might hop around to different countries, but I was going to live over there, away from America. And I'm about 4 or 5 years to leaving this country as it is. So even the American women that I would date, I would tell them, hey, if you got to live in America for the rest of your life, then you shouldn't be with me. That's not going to work because I'm not living here. Once my son gets situated, my daughters are situated, I'm gone. I'm gone. Only to return to visit. So I had that mentality. The beauty of it is that being friends with Angelina for about 9-10 months gave me an opportunity to see her as the person she is, and she was the one in the pond, in the American pond, that had more of an old-fashioned mentality. And that is, and it's not. A lot of women say, "Oh, well, that's a weak woman." Bullshit. You know how strong it takes for a woman to be a man's partner, and not just see him as a bank, to be a man's partner, and to be able to give him good sound advice, and to know that he's going to respect that advice, and how strong rather it is to be a woman who can be a servant leader, as well as being with someone who's a servant leader. If you understand what I'm saying, like she recognizes my leadership, and I recognize her leadership. Where things that she's better at, she handles. Things that I'm better at, I handle, and we don't step on each other's toes. Instead, we look to support each other in the abilities that we have to lead within our household. That's actually a very strong woman to be able to do that. And over our friendship, she demonstrated that. So I remember on August 12th of that particular year, I forgot what year it was. I think that was about 2020, when I told her, "I'm gonna date you, woman." She laughed at me. When I first told her, "I'm gonna date you," and the way I am, I told her, "I'm gonna date you, and you're gonna like it." And she laughed at me, and here we are, 4 years later. I didn't think that I would be able to find an American woman with the mentality to which I was looking for, but I did. But a lot of brothers don't feel that way. A lot of them have given up and say, "No, I'm going to go somewhere else." But why do you get upset about that? Especially if you know that you wouldn't fit the bill for that guy. Because why would you want to put yourself in a situation where you're not happy? Put yourself in a situation where you don't want to acclimate to the cultural lifestyle that this man wants. You and a passport bro won't work out, so why do you get upset about it? Is it because you know that if you went overseas, you're not going to find a man that will match you, that you can match up with? Or is it the depletion of people? But what does that depletion matter if you know you wouldn't work out with that person anyway? Why do you want to change him so that he says, "No, I'll just accept the Western cultural mentality," when he doesn't want to accept the Western cultural mentality? Why would you want to change someone? Let people be who they desire to be. But I really want to know you guys' thoughts on that. And let me know. I'm curious. And I have a hat on tomorrow. Today, no hat. But always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.